Hello, Jessica, your works back to another review, and today we're reviewing a LEGO City Polybag. It's set number 30221. It doesn't have a name, but it has 36 pieces, one minifigure, and it's recommended for ages 5 to 12. And you could get this in the US for $4 at Target, and it's one of those checkout exclusives, and basically those are polybags that are right at the checkout little section or aisle. And this is currently, that's the only place you could find it in the US. These might be at Five Below maybe later on this year, but for now, you gotta check out your Target, and it's going to be at the right where all the other checkout polybags are. And they haven't had a new checkout polybag for a while, actually. They'll have all the old stuff, which is like mining stuff from last year. But anyways, let's get on to the packaging. So here's the packaging. You can see it's very basic, and here's the back. And it doesn't come with a huge instruction booklet like most polybags. It's just a little leaflet of paper. And here it is. And the little advertisement on the back shows some of the 2013 fire sets. So here's the minifigure. It's basically the minifigure from the Fire Chief Rescue set, I believe it's called, which is a $10 set for the fire line this year. But the difference is that he doesn't have the gold helmet on, and the same face does come in the huge fire station, I believe, for this year. And you can see that the torso printing is basically the standard fire torso for this year, and same goes with the leg printing and kind of the helmet, because a lot of the firefighters this year have that helmet. But the face only comes in 3 sets, which were this set and the other 2 that I named. And there's no back printing on the face, but there is some on the torso. I really actually do like his face. I think it's a nice variation, because you can see that his beard's kind of a lighter color than like brown. So I think we should get maybe more minifigures with different hair, like color hair printing on their face. And that's it for the figure. Okay, so here is the build of the set, and it is just this little car. And for some newcomers who probably don't like vintage Lego, you may think that this car looks crappy, but for people who grew up in the 80s and 90s, and even the late 70s, you will probably really love this set, because it's definitely a throwback to the Lego Town theme, where they had kind of like cars like this, where they're 4 wide and there's not much sticking out, and they're really cute and compact, and there's not like much details on there, like inside. And yeah, it's basically a town car under the city theme. So I think that's really cool, because I loved the town theme, and the cars were just so adorable. Personally, I think I own 2 town cars, because I own one from a shell set, I believe. I'm not sure, because it's taken apart. And I own the pizza delivery car from Pizza to Go along with the set. And it's basically in the same style, where it's 4 wide, and it has really tiny wheels, and there's not much inside. And so that's really the appeal to this set. I mean, maybe not a lot of KFOLs will get this, but a lot of AFOLs probably will. And that's really it to the set. There's not much else besides the figure and stuff like that. The cool part is that there is kind of a slightly rare piece, but not a hard to get piece. Or a hard to get piece, but not a like highly sought after expensive piece. And it is these rims right here. I think they're called rims. I'm not good with like tires and stuff like that. But the inner parts right there, I'll be safe and say it. And it only comes in white in 3 sets, including this, which is the Big Garage and the Creator $5 or $6 set from this year. And you can see that basically it looks cool. It reminds me of the old tires, because the old tires, they used to use really small inside parts or rims. I don't know what they're called. And you can see that the inside, it does fit a minifigure, and it's not detailed or anything like town cars. And there you go, the firefighter could fit in there pretty well. And here's the bottom. There's not much going on there. And the back does have a little fire extinguisher, which Lego loves putting fire extinguishers in sets, especially Lego Marvel sets, and the little axe right there. So there's not really much to the set. If you love Lego Town, I would definitely think that this would be like a must-have on your list, because it's basically a new Lego Town set. And because the car is basically like Lego Town, and you can see the front, it's not detailed, the bottom is kind of basic. But yeah, so it's not a detailed set, but it's definitely a throwback to Lego Town stuff, and that's really what I love about this set. I think that it's great that Lego isn't forgetting about like town and stuff like that, because nowadays the city stuff, like the cars are much higher because they use bigger tires, and they're not as sleek and thin and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because they're definitely much more detailed, but it's nice to have a throwback once in a while. Overall, this will probably be one of those sets that appeals more to AFOLs, because this is a very vintage looking Lego set. And it reminds me a lot, like I said, of the Lego Town stuff from like the 90s and the 80s, the little cars and stuff like that. And that is really what I love about that. I love the 80s and 90s cars and stuff like that. I think they're so cute and compact. Yes, they're out of scale. Yes, they have their flaws. Like, for example, this doesn't have any little opening doors, side doors, and it cannot because it has this part right here, and it would just look a little bit weird because when you open it, this part would be blocking it a little bit. But this is still just such a cute throwback set, and I think it's actually really good if you get a lot of these, and if you're making more of a Lego city, you could probably throw in a few of these here and there. And so in that case, I guess it's a car-me builder instead of an army builder. And for $4, I mean, it has 36 pieces, which is not the best price per piece ratio, but it's definitely far from one of the worst. And I love the minifigure, even though he does come in a $10 set. I think that the face is really cool. And it's the standard 2013 Fire torso and legs, so it's not really rare, but I really do like the face. And the car, like I said, is just really cute. And there's not really much rare pieces besides those little rims on there for its tires, so I would definitely give this set a B. I think it's a nice throwback. If you're AFOL, this set will probably be on your radar, but there's not really much to it. There's no play value except it's a car, and who doesn't like to play with cars? And that's funny because I don't really like to play with cars. But you know, there's some flaws. Like I said, there's no opening side doors, and they couldn't really do it. And of course, it's out of scale. But that's kind of the point of the set. It's a huge throwback, and it's cheap, so it's a B in my book. And that's it for this review, and I'm still looking for Series 11. Okay, guys. So peace out. Bye.